understand your level of energy, because you do your show, then you fly to Vegas every night, and you do shows in Vegas, and then you go to someplace else for the weekend. And
well, yeah, I like to work.
You do like to work. Because now you're moving,
right.
And this is so weird, almost 17 years to the day, right?
Yeah, just about.
And how are you feeling? Is it a little sad? Are you excited?
Well, it was great fun. You know, the Tonight Show is sort of like the America's Cup. You don't want to be the guy to screw it up and lose it. It's been the #1 show since the 50s.
Right.
So, you know, Jack Parr gives it to Johnny. Johnny, of course, the greatest run ever, gives it to you. Oh, I didn't screw it up. Conan, take it. You know, so you don't want to be the guy who drops it and loses it.
Right.
You know? So that's the great fun about it, and all the tradition that goes with it. And you know, it's been great experiences over the years.
Yeah. And was it important to you to make it a smooth transition then for Conan?
Yeah, it's really important because the last time it happened, I started guest hosting in '86, and I got the show in '92. And at the time, Dave thought he would get the show, but I had been guest hosting all along, and the network came and said, "We want you to have it." And then there were bad feelings, and it just was handled poorly. So I just wanted to make sure the next person that got it, Conan's certainly most deserving, and it was an easy transition, and it will be, and it has been.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
And how do you feel about that time? So I know people have asked you, but if you feel like it's going to be the same show, or are you going to tweak it a little bit?
Well, obviously tweak it a little bit. We're going to make a lot of changes on the show. We're in your old stage, actually.
I know,
yeah.
I know.
Yeah, so we have a lot of Ellen ghosts in there, and it'll be fun. Yeah.
Good. Will you start dancing, Jay?
I don't know if I go that far, but I could. There may be some movement on the show. I will go so far as to say that. Yeah.
And will you have the same amount of people in the audience?
Yeah, 400's about right. That's a good amount. We'll still be set up like a nightclub, but it'll be just a lot more space. And we have some surprises, but I don't want to say what they are now because they don't come on until September.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah. And so when you look back, you know, I mean, I know just with the small amount of time I've been doing it, there's so many moments that will never leave. What is a moment that you...
You know, there's some great moments. You know, there's some moments that were emotional moments that didn't hit me. And, you know, when I was a kid, and I'm old enough, I was 12 years old when John F. Kennedy was assassinated. And I remember sitting in the living room with my mom and watching the funeral on TV. And as you always remember, as the casket went by, there's that little picture of John, you know, John Kennedy Jr., with the little suit on, looking at the casket and saluting. And my mother just crying uncontrollably. Oh, what's going to happen to that little boy? And when you're a kid and your mom's crying, you know, I look at TV and I look at that, and my mom's crying, and you don't know what to do. And it just sort of went out of my mind. And then I had John F. Kennedy Jr. on the show. And I talked to him in the dressing room, and it never hit me. And we talked a little bit, and he was a very nice guy. And I said, "Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome John F. Kennedy Jr." As he walked out, and I shook his hand, I looked up, and I saw him on the monitor. And I almost started to cry, because I thought of my mom. It wasn't until I just saw him on TV, like, my mom was where you are, and I was like, oh, he's okay, you know? I almost started crying. It was just a really emotional moment that I wish I could have told my mom. Ultimately, it didn't work out. Obviously, he passed away. But, I mean, up to that moment.
Yeah.
So that was just, but it never even occurred to me until I touched his hand like this, just as I saw him on the monitor. Then my mom and he, and it all just came flooding back to me. So it was unusual, but it was. And then we had the time when I was in the 5th grade, I had to write a report about John Glenn circling the Earth. And Mr. Simon was my teacher, and I think I got a C- on it. So when John Glenn went up again at the age of 80, about 10 years, remember he went up into space again. I called Mr. Simon and I said, "Hey, I want to redo the paper. Watch tonight." You know. So John Glenn came out, and I said, you know, I explained to him I'd written this paper in 1962, but I only got a C-, and when I interviewed him, and the next day, I got an A. I called him.
Good for you. Good for you.